Finally, John Lynch has given us the clues we need to figure out what the hell's going on with Brandon Aiyuk. What's up? Happy Saturday. Welcome to a special edition of Huddle Up. We're your hosts, Grant Cohn, Maj Sports, Brandon Deutsch. We're going to be talking about Brandon Aiyuk to start. Brock Purdy, should he be playing in this game? We're going to talk about the invisible man in the Niners offense, the guy who's still, well, we don't want to say too much about him, but we talk about where he went and whether he should come back. First, I want to shout out this week's sponsors, Cozy Earth Premium Pajamas and Blankets. Give the gift of comfort that lasts beyond the holidays. This weekend only, from Thanksgiving Day through Cyber Monday, get 40% off at CozyEarth.com with code Cohn, C-O-H-N. It's the best deal of the year. And if you get a post-purchase survey, be sure to mention you heard about Cozy Earth right here. They have a 100-night sleep trial just to see what it feels like, and then a 10-year warranty. So if you want to cozy up with something that I endorse, go to Cozy Earth. If you want to feel closer to me when you get all cozy, there you go. And then finally, if you want to make this transaction, sponsored by Cash App for a limited time only. New Cash App customers can use our exclusive code to earn some additional cash. Just download Cash App, use our exclusive referral code, secure 10 your profile, send $5 to a friend within 14 days, and you'll get $10 dropped right into your account. Terms apply. That's free money. Cash App is a financial services platform, not a bank. Bank service provided by Cash App's bank partners. Prepaid debit cards issued by Sutton Bank, member FDIC. Promotions provided by Cash App, A Block Incorporated brand. Visit cash.app/legal/podcast for full disclosures. All right, guys. John Lynch spoke on, he was with NBC. And here's what he said about, he had to say something. He let everyone else talk. He let Kyle talk. He let Jawan Jennings talk. Finally, John Lynch says something. He says, there are basic rules, team rules, league rules. I can tell you as a team, we don't have many. The ones we do are very important to us, and when they're not adhered to, this is the first time it's happened in our tenure. We felt like we had no other recourse as to exercise those things. They didn't have a choice, according to John Lynch. And then finally, he said, we want nothing more than for Brandon to come back and be part of this team because he's a really good football player, and he's done a lot for our team, and we're very appreciative for that, and we're better when he's on the field. What do you make of that?
Maj, you want me to go first on this one? Because I feel pretty strongly on this.
You can go first. You can go first. You can go first.
I'm just going to say this. Dan Campbell, Sean McVay, all these coaches that are really, really good coaches. And yes, Dan Campbell's a good coach. Things haven't gone his way this year, but he hypes up his team. Maybe I'm too much of a rah-rah guy and military-oriented in that sense. But like, if you disrespect my football team, you are never seeing that field again. And it seems like there's just a soft culture going on in the 49ers the past few years. I'm not even trying to hate Kyle running to John Lynch's office to get the Aiyuk contract done. Oh, let's give Brock what he wants, even though no one would pay him $35 million. Let's give him 55. Let's give him 53 plus, right? Oh, let's give Nick Bosa his money, which now looks like a decent deal if he can ever stay healthy. He's becoming his brother. He can't stay healthy to save his life. It's beside the point. The point is, real football teams don't adhere to stuff that if Brandon Aiyuk's disrespecting the team, hopping on his streams, doing that, they should have never given him the deal. But once they did, now you want him back after he's a bad locker room guy. You saw, I mean, Grant, you were there interviewing the players. There is some animosity between the players and Brandon Aiyuk. They didn't say it publicly, but you could see it in their face when Jawan Jennings was asked about it, when the other players were asked about it. They don't like George Kittle specifically. They don't like Brandon Aiyuk right now. He's not buying into the team. Get him out of there. He should never be back. That's my point. And I don't care that he's the only guy who can beat man coverage right now. That's why Kyle wants him back. Well, figure it out. Sean McVay would figure it out. So.
Did you guys think when Brandon Aiyuk was going to get paid, did you honestly think he was still going to be a diva? Because I see people blaming John Lynch, saying like, oh, we should have never signed him. I thought once Brandon Aiyuk got the money, he wasn't going to be like this. So I don't really think you can be mad at John Lynch or Kyle Shanahan. That's just my opinion. Like I understand Brandon Ayuk's an asshole and he's being really weird right now, but you can't really put that on John Lynch. Like, no one knew Brandon Aiyuk was going to be this much of a diva after making that much money.
I mean, he was sort of acting like this before he got the extension. He refused to bend the knee to Parag Marathe and the Niners just to act nice to get them. He refused.
Yeah.
And I mean, do you really think if you throw hella money at a headstrong, maybe immature 26-year-old, he's going to suddenly grow up. I don't think it works that way. I mean, I don't think he's really going to change. He's just going to lean into more the person he's been. So look, I mean, was Brandon Aiyuk a jerk? Did he bring this upon himself? Possibly. I'm not going to let him off the hook. I don't know what he did or didn't do. I'm not here to defend Brandon Aiyuk. But is this organizational malpractice? I believe it is. I mean, if you decide to give a wide receiver $30 million a year, guess what? You got to treat him like a diva. He wants to wear red shorts. Let him fucking wear green shorts if he wants to wear green shorts. You decided that he's Justin Jefferson level. And if honestly, if Julio Jones and Justin Jefferson were like missing a rehab or wearing the wrong shorts, you wouldn't care because you had Julio Jones and Justin Jefferson. It's your fault for paying him this much money if you really didn't think he was worth it. Because you created this situation. On the one hand, you give him the contract that says he's special. And then on the next hand, you're like, but don't act like you're special. We're going to bring you out. To me, I don't know. Tell me if you guys agree with me on this. I feel like there's two different factions and the Niners at play here. There's the football side and the business side. The business side never wanted to keep Brandon Aiyuk. The football side did because he's good. And I think that Parag got back at Brandon. I think Brandon beat Parag in this negotiation and probably rubbed it in his face. And Parag was like, okay, all right, well, let's see where things are at in a year. And got those voids, got those guarantees. Because it's like, look, you beat Parag on the negotiation, but who wrote the contract? Parag. Yeah. Who got out of it? Yeah. Parag. I don't know. And so look, if Brandon goes on to be a bad player, good for Parag. But if he goes on to be good somewhere, you got nothing for him, and you created this problem. I'm not sure why.
No, real talk though. How is Leeds United doing right now? Parag.
Good question. Right, they lost today, and they are third worst in the Premier League. They're 18th, which is
so they're going to get relegated.
Oh yeah, they're only a third of the way through the season, but it's going poorly. And it doesn't seem like that's the big investment that Parag and the Yorks care about this year, because if they stay in the Premier League, all of a sudden they're a big time money stream for them. The Niners are a stable money stream.
I mean, theoretically, they still have what, 55 million in cap space in the Niners. So where's that going? Where's that extra money going? And think about it. Like, do you blame Jed York for not giving Kyle Shanahan and John Lynch money for this year, for this team? Like, I would have gone and gotten an edge rusher, but like the way they've handled these contracts the last few years and going all in at year after year after year and not winning a Super Bowl. Honestly, I know the fan base probably disagrees with me on this. I don't hate that Jed York was not confident in giving them a lot of money this year.
I mean, it seems like they wanted Dre Greenlaw, didn't get the green light from ownership. Seems like they wanted Brandon Aiyuk, that got nixed after a year. Yeah, I mean, it's a new era where it seems like Kyle Shanahan doesn't just get whatever he wants. He has to like coach his way out of this mess. And I think that's why people are sort of mentioning him in the conversation for coach of the year, because he didn't get a big move at the deadline and he didn't do anything big in free agency. Like he and Saleh have been working with what they got.
Yeah.
And they've been doing great at it, I think.
I mean, the problem is it's a wide open NFC. So like then the argument is like, why didn't you make a move? Because you look at how well the defense, I know it's the Panthers, and you know, your cousin who's 8 years old could probably defend the Panthers at a decently high level. Or your uncle coming home from the bar could probably defend half of those receivers when Bryce Young's throwing it straight to the defense. But like at the end of the day, they stepped up to the plate last week. We'll see how they play against the Browns. But like if the defense keeps playing well with those third stringers and second stringers on the field, one, Saleh might be gone, might be a Raiders head coach at the end of the year, which is one issue. And two, then it like you get to being 11-4 or 12-5 to finish the year. You're in the playoff race and you've matched up against Philadelphia or something, or the Bears in the first round. You could win that game. And then you're wondering, where's our extra edge rusher?
Am I the only one who thinks
where's Brandon Aiyuk? Where's our number one wide receiver?
Yeah.
Am I the only one that thinks that Robert Saleh would be an idiot to go get a head coaching job?
Depends on the job.
That's what I'm saying.
He's going
to go to a shitty organization. Raiders are a shit organization.
What if he gets to go to the Ravens?
That would be okay. That's the only one. But all the other ones are going to be shitty ass organizations. He's going to go there and shit the bed.
Harbaugh, the only Super Bowl he ever won was against his brother, and his playoff decision making and trusting Todd Monken. I know that's a separate team, but like he should have been fired years ago, in my opinion. John Harbaugh.
Yeah, I don't know. I think Saleh, if he ever left us, would be stupid.
Let me bring it back to Ike for a second before we go over there. Here's where I think, like, now that we've heard from Kyle and John, we haven't heard from Aiyuk yet. This is my best guess at like what happened in the timeline. Tell me if you guys agree. So
Okay.
I'm thinking it's pretty clear that Ayuk skipped a rehab assignment that was like set up and supervised by the 49ers in the offseason, maybe more than one. And they voided his contract, his guarantees before training camp started. So this was stuff that was probably going on in June and July. And if you go back to his YouTube channel, which is still available, and look at his community posts, he was making cryptic posts about his money and wanting all the smoke in June. So I think this was playing out then, like, which is weird because that's usually when all the players are away from the team. So then he comes into camp, no guarantees, but instead of like complaining about it, he's there every day at camp. He's with the wide receivers. They say that he's like a coach in the meetings. He's in the meetings. So I don't know. Maybe he was trying to play nice so that maybe the Niners would give him back his guarantees. Maybe he was in denial. Maybe he think they were playing around since they didn't announce it. But then, mid-September, October, he's still been out there with the team. They don't change their mind. And all of a sudden he stops showing up to meetings. He stops showing up to practice and he stops communicating with with his players and coaches. So maybe the fact that they thought like they still wanted him to play this year. They wanted to clear him and showcase him so they could possibly trade him, but they didn't want to give him his guarantees back because they're done with him. And I think he said, you know what? Then I kind of refuse. Like, I'll do what I have to do, which is, clearly rehab and stuff, but I'm not going to the meeting because I don't want to play for your team and I'm not getting ready for this season. Sorry. I think that's what happened. What do you think?
And I can understand that. I can. It's a twofold issue, and you brought up both problems. There's one problem where the organization is not on the same page as Kyle Shanahan right now. Obviously, Kyle Shanahan wants Aiyuk back and wants him because he desperately needs a guy to beat man coverage so Brock Purdy can look
He's a damn good wide receiver when healthy.
Yeah.
If he makes a full recovery.
Very good.
He's damn good.
The best separation numbers.
Not top 5, but top 10-ish.
10.
Hey,
Top 10.
one of the best David Lombardi stats, one of the great stats that he actually posted that didn't have to do with Brock Purdy after 3 interceptions. Oh, he was actually good. He made the right decisions. Was about Brandon Aiyuk's separation metrics. It was actually one of the useful things I found from David Lombardi's page a few years ago. He was beating man coverage very well. Shout out David Lombardi. Hopefully he can come on a Grant Cohn show and go head to head with him instead of swimming in the Pacific Ocean before. I don't know where he is now. There's no ocean right there in Cleveland. There's no Pacific Ocean. There is Lake Erie. Maybe he'll post a video of that. I'm looking forward to it in his fake 120,000 views on his video. Back to the point though, like it's a twofold issue. Like the organization is not on the same page as Kyle Shanahan. And for Aiyuk's mind, Kyle's probably talking to him, mending that relationship throughout the year. And
I want you.
Right?
It's not up to me.
You're one in here. And John Lynch is probably like, fuck you. For a lack of better terms, he's like, you made us pay this money. I'm already mad at Kyle for running to my office when we had a trade in place for you. And now, you know what? Kyle wants you back. We voided this money already. Like, I don't know. So,
and maybe I want to align myself with Jed and Parag. Like, if someone's going to go down for this contract, maybe it'll be Kyle and not me. I mean, who has the power right now? It seems like Parag has the power. So maybe I'll align myself with him and let Kyle take the heat for this.
And if that's true, Grant, and I know Maj will talk about this, but like if that's true, like obviously I've been hard on Brandon Aiyuk. I think he has disrespected the team, and I would never personally allow him back out there. But I would also be angry as Brandon Aiyuk if one guy, my head coach, wants me to be out there and is getting me ready, and the organization's like, screw you, buddy. Like that's okay. Now you kind of see Aiyuk's side of things. The media is only portrayed as
I think it's super messy. I don't want to take sides here.
When Mike Silver's always going to go.
Parag never wanted him. Kyle wanted him, and Parag sort of like signed the deal like while holding his nose and was already had these outs in place. And then once he got hurt and started, I think Parag was like, "Look, we can get out of this contract. We can get out. Like he's not going to show up to this. You know what I mean? Like we got it." And I think this is, to me, more about saving Jed and his parents' money than taking a moral stand or doing anything on principle or actually this would be about football. I think this is all about cash. And it makes me wonder, I know the Yorks are rich. They're worth billions of dollars, but all that money's invested. And a lot of it is invested in soccer teams, as we know this year. How much cash do they really have? How much liquidity? Because they keep selling 5% of the teams, 2% of the team. It seems like they need cash. Brandon Aiyuk requires cash. And, what a coincidence. He's gone.
He's gone.
I'm just saying. Also, the way it was reported by Mike Silver, who's obviously, really good good relationship with Jed York, good relationship with John Lynch. Of course, that's how it's going to be reported. I am interested to see Brandon Aiyuk's side of this because
it doesn't seem like that's been put out.
No, it's always been pro 49ers with this situation, which I get in a sense, but like I do want to see what
he's not running to the pivot.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
I want Brandon Aiyuk to talk to the media.
Like he's just kind of chilling.
I want Aiyuk to talk to the media. That when that happens, that's going to be sick.
He's just trying to not lose more money.
Yeah.
Grant, let me ask you this: do you think there's a serious like avenue for him to play out of the bye?
That was my prediction before this whole shit went down.
Is there a serious avenue for him to play after the bye? I don't think he wants to. And I don't think he's the kind of guy who's going to do it to be nice. He just seems like a petty, headstrong person. And that's part of what makes him, an elite wide receiver. I don't think he's going to give in. He didn't give in the negotiation last year, and all of a sudden he's going to tuck tail and be like, whatever you say, guys. Sorry. I just don't think he will, for better or worse. So I'm thinking he never plays again for the 49ers, and they could try to clear him after the bye week and put pressure on him to play. That would get real messy, and maybe they'll save even more cash. That would be great. Because anytime billionaires can save a few $1 million, that makes me sleep better at night. I hope Jed doesn't have to spend too much on Brandon. No, I wouldn't be surprised if this isn't over with. I feel like there's still haggling over millions of dollars. If he plays again, I'd be freaking shocked. How about you guys? How do you feel?
I'll be shocked. Yeah.
I don't think he plays. I think him and Cowan are both done with playing.
Dude, don't even talk about Cowan. That guy.
If you want to trade him last year, you get a second-round pick for him. Now you're gonna cut him next year probably, and you're gonna have the whole fan base thinking that you were right because he's an idiot and he's a jerk and he's this and that. Man, you better freaking hope he doesn't bounce back in his career on Washington or Pittsburgh, because then you look dumb. You ruined the relationship. And like one more thing, the Niners are so adamant that but they're basically saying that he's lazy, right? He's not taking his rehab serious. That's sort of what they're insinuating.
Yep.
Man, how many examples do we have of the Niners training staff rushing players back?
A lot.
Wrong about when a player is healthy. Like, forget Brock Purdy. That's the most recent example. What about Christian? Last year? They cleared him for week 1, and Christian was like, I'll be ready in like 2.5 months. Left the country, went to Germany. They didn't question his laziness. They didn't say anything about him. So I'm not saying that Brandon is the same as Christian, but I can see from Brandon's perspective, like, man, I make way more money than Christian McCaffrey. Why are you treating me like a jerk when you let that dude go to Germany and call and determine when he was coming back? You don't trust me. You're going to tell me when I'm ready to go. Your track record telling players when they're ready to go is awful. Consistently.
Grant, didn't Raheem Mostert say that same thing? Like that the Niners always rush people back for injuries? So like,
yes,
I don't know
they
what
rushed back Brock.
Know.
They cleared him 2 weeks after he got turf toe. 2 weeks.
And Joe Burrow just came back.
They shouldn't have cleared Brock the second time. Like I would love it if Mac is still playing out there this weekend, but that's just me. I think Brock.
Oh, that's a good transition. That's enough. That's enough, Brandon. He's pretty much history. Let's talk Brock. He's going to be playing. I'm here. I'm looking at the stadium. It's right over my shoulder. It's beautiful. It's on the lake. It's snowing, and it's going to snow tomorrow. It's going to be chaos. We know Brock Purdy's track record in snow and rain. He was freaking awful in Buffalo last year, and he lost in Cleveland a couple of years ago. Is it a mistake to play Brock Purdy in this game?
Yes.
But Brandon, it is a yes, but you can't bring your starting quarterback back one game and then sit him the next game. You can't do that.
What makes you look bad? That's why they don't want to do it. It's
exactly. That's what they can't do. But I'll agree with you. I think this is a dumb decision because you pay a quarterback $53 million. He should be able to play in any rain, snow, anything, but he sucks.
But he can also be healthy.
Exactly. But if it's
healthy, he's not healthy.
If it's a Buffalo snow all over again, we're in for a very rough time because the amount of time, and listen, it happens with quarterbacks, and even Lamar has bigger hands than Purdy, and that ball slipped out of his hands, but Purdy has small hands in the snow. It's going to be a problem. It's going to be a problem.
Even like Brock, like I'm also going to stand up a little bit for Brock, and I know I've been critical of him here, but the hitches, the extra hitch. I mean, the third interception, Pearsall was open. If it's one less hitch, that's a 30-yard gain, right? You could say the same thing about the touchdown when he tried to extend the play and he was a little late. he can't push off that back foot. He
Cannot.
can't push off that back foot, and
Cannot.
he's not a big velocity thrower to begin with. He is an anticipation quarterback, right? So, like,
Yeah, he
to
can't just
me,
be an arm thrower. For him to have
Yeah.
zip, he needs the
but
full.
Grant, that's a recipe
Yeah.
for disaster against an elite
Yep.
defense. Your line already has problems, and they've been playing well the last few weeks, but now they're going to be lined up against Myles Garrett. There's a good secondary on the road, 10 a.m. West Coast teams generally do terrible at 10 a.m. Pacific time games, especially in short rest. Like, to me, the only way the Niners win this game and the way they do is running the football at a high level, not letting Brock Purdy pass. But why not have Mac
Jordan
Jones?
James debut.
But
Jordan
why don't
James
they have
debut.
Mac Jones should play games like this where you desperately need to control the time of clock and not turn the ball over? Because Brock Purdy, say what you want, whether he's hurt or not, he has turned the ball over. He's a 5% interception percentage this season, and he has
Yeah,
turned
he's
the ball
not
over
exactly
a bunch
risk
the last
averse.
few years. Yeah.
Am I the only one that thought Brock Purdy looked better? Like, okay, I know the interceptions weren't good, but Brock Purdy did look better. I thought he was running
JC
more.
Horn got hurt. That's why he looked better in the second half. There were no corners out there for
He can't
Carolina.
throw the ball down the field, Maj. Like, there's nothing on those passes when he throws it more than 10 yards down the
I
field.
thought his arm, Grant, looked a little bit stronger than it did against the Cardinals, even though they were intercepted.
When? At what point?
But
Always
like the
throw.
JC Horn interception, I was like, oh, the ball's got a little bit more zip than it usually has.
You like the zip on that
he
throw?
threw it
All
right to
fair
him.
enough.
That was a dime to JC Horn. That was a dime to JC.
Like, I don't know.
I got to give him credit. Brock
Let
Purdy.
me ask, so let me put it this way.
At throwing it
With
to the
what
defense.
Can we compare the way the Niners have handled Brock to the way the Bengals have handled Joe Burrow?
No.
Absolutely.
Yes, actually, yes.
It's the same injury. And the Bengals are looked at as a joke of an organization, whereas like the Niners are looked at as an elite organization. And the Bengals didn't fuck around. They put Joe Burrow on IR and they brought him back when he felt 100% healthy. The Niners didn't put Brock on IR. They brought him back 2 weeks later. He got hurt again. Then they brought him back 7 weeks later, and they admit he's still not 100% healthy. You're messing around, not just with this season, but with the rest of his career. The whole thing should have been, we're not playing him again until this is in the past, because they're, one, jeopardizing the season, and two, creating a potential situation where this is a chronic injury that, you know, I mean, he can't play with this. He sucks with this injury. And if he never fully recovers, then his career's over. So I don't understand. You gave him, again, the way you treat Brandon after giving him $30 million a year, the way you treat Brock after giving him $53 million a year. What are you doing? Protect this man if you really value him. Otherwise, are you just throwing money away? Because Leeds United needs a goalie. All right? If you don't care, spend it on soccer, because it's not looking good over there. I'm just saying.
I just want Purdy to succeed, man. And it's not looking good, bro. It's not looking good.
Look.
He's probably going to win tomorrow, right? He could throw for 100 yards and 2 picks and win this game.
But Grant, it's always
kinda
2 picks. It's always 2 picks. Like
That's the problem. Like Purdy, if he used his legs a little more and and just ran a little bit more.
Like me and Brandon did a live stream. After the game, and if you didn't know the score of the game, it kind of looked like we lost the way we were talking, just because Purdy threw.
It did not feel like a win. As a fan of the team, that felt like a loss. Personally.
It did.
It should have been.
I mean, the defense played well, but
10.
you went up against the Panthers, whose offense sucks. So, like, is the Niners' defense improving, or is it just the Panthers? I mean, hard to say.
And the Panthers' defense was so injured. JC Horn went out too, and he was our best defensive player. He went out.
And dude, by the way, the guy that picked Brock when he threw it to Pearsall, I know Kittle was open. I know he could have used his legs. That guy was on the practice squad at some point this season for the Panthers. Jackson, practice squad player, intercepting Brock Purdy. This is a guy making $50+ million a year. I don't care. And people are like, oh, why don't we give, like, this guy who follows me on X, Mike Finn, he's so annoying in terms of, like, he's always like a pro Brock Purdy guy. And he's always like, buddy, stats are for nerds. Like, no, you can use stats to evaluate quarterbacks and film. But the thing is, Lamar Jackson gets more leeway because he threw 40+ touchdowns and 4 interceptions last year. So I'm not going to hold him to the
when
same
he doesn't play,
standard,
they lose.
But also, I'm not going to hold him to
when he doesn't play,
Brock
the
Purdy,
Ravens lose. Yeah,
who's turned the ball over more the last few years.
I don't look at stats. I look at the way that they play. Like,
I got a question for both of you. If the Niners had done what the Bengals had done initially and put Brock on IR and didn't play him against the Jaguars, I guess there's, you don't know, but like, Would he be 100% right now? He might be.
I don't.
And if he is, I mean, maybe the Niners would be contenders right now. But
Grant, I don't even think Joe
like
Burrow's 100% healthy. I don't think
Is
Joe
he not?
Burrow's 100% healthy. No,
He
he
threw
had
48 times the other day.
he
better be
did,
healthy.
but he had a steel plate in his toe, and that doesn't mean you're 100% healthy if you have a steel plate in your cleat.
Okay,
No?
here's the next
Interesting.
point.
Okay.
Joe Burrow is 6'4".
Maybe Brock should put the
He's a
steel plate in
big
his
dude.
cleat.
He's a big dude. Part of Brock's problem is not only is he injury prone, not only does he not have a good arm, and 6 feet is a great height for the average person, but for a quarterback, he is a small dude. He is a small quarterback. That's another problem. So if he's injury prone and small and doesn't have a good arm, why are we paying this guy $1 bazillion? At least Mac is 6'4", took a hit from Jared Verse and stayed on the field. Like Brock Purdy would have been out 7 weeks at least if he had played that game instead of Mac Jones.
Also, like Mac Jones kind of reminds me of you don't really follow the Giants from like 10 years ago. I'm sorry, I'm from the Bay, and they were winning championships. But like Mac Jones is kind of like Matt Cain, 6'3", easy velocity, doesn't throw hard, but still hits 94. Like Purdy's more like Tim Lincecum, 5'10", comes into the league throwing hard because Lincecum was like, could get every ounce of torque out of his body. He would jump off the freaking mound. Like his stride was way longer than his height. I mean, he was incredible what he could do. But after 3-4 years, his arm, he was throwing like 89. I mean, eventually he just couldn't do it anymore. He'd gotten everything out of his body that he could. I wonder if Purdy's like that because I feel like he found a way to add some extra zip his first couple of years. He was throwing harder when he first came into the league than he did at Iowa State. And now it's like where he can't put anything on a line anymore. Nothing.
Now, let me ask you this, Grant, because I was talking to my dad about this and I was saying, did he ever truly recover from that UCL injury?
See, that's a good question. And now
Because
you
he
add the
might
tape on
wonder.
top. Like
But-
it's just another thing that's sapping power from him.
Yeah. That's a serious
guys-
injury, man. That's a
and that's
serious
right.
injury.
But like
Guys, the
that's why
49ers still won that
size
game.
matters in football. Like, why do you want a quarterback who's 6'4", 230? Because that guy's probably gonna be your quarterback for 10 to 15 years if you want him. Like, why do people love Justin Herbert? Because he's probably gonna be the Chargers quarterback in 10 years from now, and he's probably gonna play 16 to 17 games a season. That's just how he's built. Is he like the greatest quarterback of all time? No, but he's dependable. Brock isn't.
No.
Yeah. I think that's a conversation that the front office should have had instead of appeasing their fans. Like, it shouldn't even have been about Brock's performance. If we're going off performance alone since he entered the league, he's been excellent, right? Except recently. But it should have been about injury history. He had missed so many games. What did they struggle with Garoppolo? I mean, Garoppolo missed a ton of games too, and they still paid him all that money. They paid him after he was hurt the entire year. For New England one time, like he was already dealing with injuries and they paid him a ton of money. So this organization, whether we want to believe it or not, has a history of paying injured quarterbacks a lot of money.
Yeah.
That's true. So something to think about. Stay tuned. Got a word from our sponsor, Factor.
I know what you're thinking. Grant, I wish I had your job. I wish I covered the 49ers for a living. I wish I was you. And you know what? You're not wrong. But being Grant Cohn isn't as glamorous as it seems. For example, I'm heading to work right now. Get to cover the athletes, ask Kyle Shanahan questions. It's a lot of fun, but you know what? The Niners might not feed me today. They might. But what if they don't? What if there's no free food waiting for me when I get in there? Well, I can't be Grant Cohn on an empty stomach. Absolutely not. So this presents a problem. Do I DoorDash a burrito from San Jose? It'd be good. But after all the fees and stuff, it's gonna be like $50. Or do I plan ahead? Do I get some Factor, have it waiting for me in the fridge, pop it in there, 2 minutes later, I'm eating good, and all the other hungry sports writers are looking at me enviously, like they wish they had Factor. But you know what? They should. There's nothing stopping them. It's really good. And with more than 80 weekly meals on the menu rotated, there's always something good. Head to factor75.com or click the link below and use code COHNFB50 to get 50% off your first Factor box plus free breakfast for 1 year. That's code Cohn FB50 at factor75.com to get 50% off plus free breakfast for 1 year. Offer only valid for new Factor customers with code and qualifying auto-renewing subscription purchase.
Is that the best ad you've ever seen? That was really good. Man,
Brad,
the
the thing I
acting, the
love-
writing, the
Brad,
editing
the
is
best-
so good.
The best thing was just the little pause of the food.
Incredible.
I got proof of concept. Got to show you what it's all about. It's delicious.
Factor
right.
looks good though.
It is good. All
It
right,
looks really good.
guys.
I need to use
Did you know that the wide receiver on the 49ers who has the most receiving yards is Kendrick Bourne? He
Yes.
hasn't caught a pass in weeks. He gets a bonus if he hits 500 yards. He's 18 yards away. Why do you think they're not throwing him the ball?
Maybe because
They're
Brock
about
Purdy
to pay
and
him that money. That's why they're going to pay him
They
that
just
money.
don't
That's
have
why.
the cash. Look, man, sorry. We just don't got it right now. We'll,
I think it's
we'll
maybe
have it
because
next month.
I think it's maybe because Purdy and Bourne don't have a great connection. I don't know.
That's
I thought Bourne
cool.
looked. I thought
Be.
Bourne when he was cooking with Mac Jones, he had 2 back-to-back 140-yard games. Like I was like, holy crap, this guy's a steal. Why not play him? And now this is what they do all the time. They just don't they don't play their players. They don't play the players that are playing good. They play the players that are making the money. That's what they do.
I'll say this. Kendrick Bourne is a great receiver. I think he should be getting looks. He's tough. He's a good teammate, good locker room guy. I think he has it all to be, and he's a former Niner. Obviously, he has that rapport with Mac from New England, and that's why he played so well for a few games. But the receiving problem that the Niners have, it's very simple in my opinion. You want to win football games, get it to your best player. Just get it to George Kittle, and you win. What happened the other day, Grant? They weren't getting George Kittle the ball in the first few possessions. Brock throws 3 picks, and then in the second half, they're like, hey, maybe we should throw to our best pass catcher. If it's not Christian, let's just throw to Christian.
The biggest
McCaffrey and
mismatch
George
in
Kittle.
football.
Oh, yeah. And then they win. Okay. That's got to happen from the jump in Cleveland or they'll lose. So my problem isn't that they're not playing Kendrick Bourne. Whatever. To me, it wouldn't make that much of a difference as long as George Kittle's getting the ball and Christian McCaffrey's getting the ball on
That's
check
fair.
down.
Because
Like-
the number one wide receiver is the third option. But and you got 2 great options in your tight end and your running back. But what just kills me is that like the wide receiver room is a freaking mess on this team.
It is.
They're forcing Ricky and Juwan out there, and it's not working. Like when targeted, the quarterback rating for Juwan this year is 60.3, and for Ricky, it's 56.9. Now, I'm not saying that's not the greatest stat. It just shows that like as an offense, it's not working when you're trying to force it. There's 10 picks to those guys alone. When when Kendrick Bourne's targeted, 101.5 quarterback rating. To me, all that says is they should probably throw him a fucking pass in this game. But you know what? I guarantee they won't. And if they lose and score some like 17 points, I'm going to talk about it. You can't afford to let your best wide receiver or one of them not play so you can like experiment with Ricky and Juwan. I'm just saying.
We're not even using Ricky though. We're not even using
I like Ricky, but Purdy's been late to every Ricky pass recently.
Yes.
Like I don't
Purdy
even.
was late to all
Brandon, I
3 of them.
agree. Yes.
Ricky doesn't give you much short and intermediate. He's like more
he's
20
dumb
yards
over.
down the field. And right now, they don't have a quarterback who can get on the ball.
No. That's why people are blaming Pearsall for not getting yards in these last couple of games. Well, he could
open.
have
Is that-
those yards if
Is that his
if Purdy
fault?
could throw the
Purdy was
ball.
late on all 3 of the passes he should have gotten for 20 for like,
Yeah.
you know.
You know who would have hit those throws?
Mac
Mac
Jones. Or
Mac
no.
Jones. You
Curtis-
can't say that, though.
Curtis Roke, Maple Missile.
He's Canadian. He's really good. All
You
right,
know what
so
they
look, that's my
say-
spiel about Kendrick Bourne. To me,
Yeah.
I'm sure there are football reasons, but I hate to think that there's business reasons too. Like he's
No.
18 yards away from a bonus, and all of a sudden he disappears. Like,
yeah.
yo, how cheap can you be? Just give him what is it, like $500,000? Give him $500,000, man. Give him a Rolex. Well, come on, he
I
deserves
think he
it.
deserves $500,000 just for winning them that Rams game.
Seriously.
Yes.
You know?
All right, so you brought up Curtis Rourke. The Niners did draft a quarterback this year. They drafted Curtis Rourke in round 7. They wanted to back up this sort of redshirting. They could have drafted another quarterback in round 5 named Shedeur. They could have taken Shedeur Sanders in round 5 and said they took Jordan Watkins, who they never freaking play. Now they got to face Shedeur Sanders tomorrow. Had they drafted him, they wouldn't be facing him. What do you think? Should they have taken a flyer on Shedeur with that Jordan Watkins pick?
No, that would be the stupid. You know why? Because you bring a guy like Shedeur and he has that much media around him. Everyone is like talking about his interviews after, and then now you add Shedeur, Aiyuk, you had all the Jawan Jennings drop. That's literally just Grant. You would love that. Oh my gosh, Grant would love.
I don't think Kittle would like it.
No,
I don't think
a lot of
Juszczyk
players
would
would.
like it. I don't think
You know
Kyle
who
would.
would like it? You know who would have loved to draft Shedeur? Parag.
That's not who I thought you were going to say.
How many jerseys would he sell? How many
there will be
jerseys?
a lot of
would that man
jerseys
sell?
out there. Oh my god.
So many.
Niners are already in the news a lot because they're an all-time franchise, right? Imagine Shedeur Sanders, and his dad played, obviously. Imagine Shedeur Sanders, quarterback of the San Francisco 49ers. I was hearing
I
rumors.
feel like he would have fit the scheme.
I think so too. I think he's a perfect quarterback.
No,
He is better,
I
way
mean,
better.
one, he'd fit
Dude,
the scheme. Two, he's a good
Wait,
value
Brandon,
round
say it.
5.
Brandon,
yes,
say it.
I think that, I heard rumors. Now, I don't know if they were true. Obviously, Grant is more tapped in than me. He's a reporter of the team. I don't cover the team, and they'll never allow me to report for the team because I would just ask really tough questions, unlike David Lombardi. So I will say this. I heard a few reports that, before the whole interview process that the Niners, they did think about Shedeur Sanders. And they thought he was going to be a first-round pick. I think a lot of organizations thought before the interview process where Shedeur was very arrogant and kind of they wanted to prove a point. Talent-wise, I think he had a first or second-round grade. I don't think that was the problem. His attitude's always been the issue. But the guy was the most accurate passer in college last year, and
He's probably better
Kyle
than
Shanahan's
Curtis Rourke.
scheme. He fits Kyle Shanahan's scheme to a T. Tell me why. I agree with Grant on this. I would have drafted him in the 3rd or 4th round.
You had nothing to lose.
Yes,
Even a
but
worse
guys,
pick than Nick Martin.
Hey, but Grant and Brendan, in that moment, if the Niners drafted a quarterback, that'd be the dumbest thing ever. We didn't need another
It would
quarterback.
have been the smartest thing ever because Brock
You
Purdy
have
is playing like
enough.
shit, Maj.
You have Mac Jones. Why would you need Shedeur?
How long do you have Mac Jones for?
That's true.
I mean, they're going to try and
Mac
trade
Might
Jones
be
Mac
trading Mac Jones this offseason.
Oh, they will. They're trading him. They need draft compensation because of the rest
If
of the
they had
roster
drafted
is
Shedeur
ass.
Sanders, they'd be facing Dylan Gabriel or something this weekend.
Thank God. And they would have beaten Dylan Gabriel to a pulp. Dylan Gabriel stinks. I am much more scared of Shedeur
49ers
Sanders.
should draft Drew Aller.
I agree.
Yeah,
actually. I like Drew Aller.
They should draft a quarterback. Kyle should always be bringing in he should draft a quarterback or sign a quarterback every year, if not both, because you can't keep a quarterback healthy to save your life, and they all become interception machines eventually. So keep bringing them in.
Well, not just that. It's like if you're going to draft a running back or receiver you never fucking use in the 3rd or 4th round every year, you might as well make that a quarterback.
Make it a quarterback.
So you don't have to play Adrian Martinez, God forbid, if Mac Jones and Brock Purdy are injured. And, they won't draft the quarterback, though, Grant, next year. There's no chance.
Well, why should they when they have Curtis Rourke?
Well,
Maj, you're from Canada. Tell us about Curtis Rourke.
Yeah.
He's Canadian. He likes maple syrup. I don't actually. When we drafted Curtis Rourke, I had no clue who he was. I had literally no clue who the guy was.
I liked
him. Canadian.
I liked him. He was tough. He played
still.
through it. I believe it was an ACL injury all year last year, right? Or a leg injury. Like he was hurt.
I just feel like the Niners are so bad at drafting quarterbacks, and they got lucky one time with Brock, and I don't think they're going to get lucky twice. So I don't have high hopes for Curtis. Sorry about that, Curtis. I just don't have high hopes.
Grant, let me ask you this before we move on to this, because I was telling Maj this on our stream the other day. The Niners are horrible at drafting defensive linemen in the 1st round. Besides Nick Bosa, follow their lap. They're horrible about drafting offensive linemen, you could argue, because of the guys in the past, McGlinchey, whatever. Why? They're only good at drafting receivers in the 1st round, pretty much.
How good are they at drafting receivers, too? They took Ricky over Ladd. Was that good?
Yeah, no, not now.
They took Debo over A.J. Brown. Although Debo was good for them.
But hey, we got to take a grain of salt here. They're better at drafting receivers.
They actually draft that. That's one of their better positions that they draft.
Exactly.
Right.
So what they're going to do in this next draft because of the Aiyuk situation. There is no way they're taking a D-line or O-line round 1. They're taking a receiver in round 1. And
have you looked at their wide receiver depth chart for next season? Do you know the names that are on this team for wide receiver?
It's Pearsall and Watkins. That's it.
Cowing and Robinson as well. Just
and Cowing. Where is that guy
in the CFL next year? Okay,
Cowing? Literally, He's injured all season, and then I see a video of him at a coffee shop. Like this guy, I don't even
He
know what
was
that
a
guy's
nice
doing.
kid.
He's not
I root
injured.
for
The
the
Niners
guy,
are just like,
but-
we don't want to play you, so we're just going to say that you're still injured.
You know why I actually like Cowing is because he seems like a nice guy. Like Aiyuk just seems like an asshole. You know, that's why people don't
does.
like Cowing. Just he's at least he's a nice dude. It seems like, you know, like that's
I agree.
you don't get paid
Look,
to be nice. but at
Maybe
least he's
Aiyuk
a
is an
nice
asshole.
guy.
I just get the feeling that a lot of the best wide receivers in the league are assholes. Like, is AJ Brown not an asshole?
Dude, he still wants a trade. He wants
I
to
know.
be traded every
He won a
year.
Super Bowl and was like, I hate this. This is the worst experience I've ever
Jefferson
had on a
gave up
team.
on his quarterback the last few
Yes.
weeks. He stopped
I
running
feel like
routes the last few weeks.
The best wide receivers often are assholes. It kind of comes with the territory, and you have to decide
for
whether you want to go into
LSU
business with players like that. And the
The
Niners
LSU
don't
wide
throw the
receivers
ball
are not.
enough to one wide receiver to really justify. I mean, this was so predictable that they'd give him the money and be like, "Oh shit, you're not worth $30 million a year to us," and he's being like, "You're not treating me like I'm worth $30 million." Yeah, man, you guys shouldn't have done that. This was a bad marriage.
You know what they could do too? They could draft whatever his name is from Oregon, Sadiq, because Kittle's getting older and they need a tight end to be his pupil because Kyle Shanahan needs a dominant tight end for that offense to
Doesn't
work.
it seem like the whole league is like running with this trend of using 2 and 3 tight ends, and Kyle's over here using Juszczyk in 2025? Like, come on, man.
Well, they paid Luke
Get
Farrell all
Andres
that
and
money.
Farrell on the field with Kittle. Use one wide receiver because that position sucks on your team, and just run the ball and play. You saw the Bears do it yesterday. The Rams do it all the time. The Niners have the personnel to pull it off. I don't get it, man. Chondris was balling.
Yeah, why is
Dude, I
Chondris
love
not
Chondris.
playing, bro?
I don't
Chondris
get
is
it, man.
good.
He's so much better than Kyle Juszczyk. Hold on, let me just get right. So much better. I don't get it.
Well, Kyle Juszczyk is
Greg, get
not
closer.
the all-pro. Is not the all-pro in his marriage. His wife is way more talented than him. There's no doubt about that. She actually makes great clothes, and I'll say it again.
I feel like he could retire early because
She is going to be the breadwinner. He should just
That's what I'm
leave.
saying.
He should leave. Like,
Brandon, you're Christian Juszczyk's #1 fan. You love her
he is
clothes.
very
I'm
talented.
serious though. In the snow tomorrow, this would be a great day to break out the 3 tight end offense tomorrow.
Yes.
That would be great.
You know what they need to do, Grant?
Huh?
You know what they need to do? I'll say one
Tell
thing,
me.
and then I'll let Maj go. They're not going to, because Kyle's going to want to prove a point again about Brock Purdy. He's going to want to. He's going to get in his bag of tricks and do some stupid shit. You already know that. If they were smart, Cleveland does not have the personnel to beat the Niners if the Niners just control the clock and run the fucking football the entire game using that personnel. They would. I want an ugly. You know it's going to be an ugly football game tomorrow.
100%.
So just please, Kyle, let Brock throw.
Here's what
10
gives
times.
me
That's it.
pause about picking the Niners to win this game. I think Brandon, you already picked the Browns, right? I mean, what?
I think the Browns will
Maybe
win.
you
Yeah.
didn't. Okay.
You
The
guys
Browns
think
have a legitimately very good run defense, and I don't think the Niners do. Like the Niners didn't even really shut down the Panthers' run game. They just didn't run the ball, and I still have no fucking idea. I'll never understand what Canales was thinking. It's not like the Niners were running away with the game. It was always anyway. This is going to be a close game. They're going to run it a lot with Quinshon Judkins.
He's good.
He's good.
I like their run defense more than their pass defense because they can't get a pass rush. So, of course, the corners are going to look worse if you can't get to the quarterback.
Yeah, but is
So-
Shedeur going to do anything in the snow? Like maybe. I don't know.
Dude, he's going to take risks. That's where the Niners can beat him. They're going to need to win the turnover battle.
You know
And
what?
that-
Screw this Mac Jones talk. You know who's probably played in the snow because he's from Canada? Curtis Rourke.
Curtis Rourke.
How come the Niners haven't voided his guarantees? Is he not? Is he not healthy yet? I mean, damn, he should be out there.
No one's
Very
healthy.
true.
No one's healthy. I mean, by the way, are they ever going to fire their entire medical staff? Because
Yeah,
it seems
I
like
don't
whatever they're
understand.
doing just is not working every single year. I mean, I know it's football and it's a dangerous sport, but like, dude, this is every fucking year they get injuries like this.
Until they address that, it's hard to feel like they're doing everything within their power
Exactly.
to be as good as they can, right? It just seems like they're content to be in the mix. Too much sauce. 30-30 says Brock has 29-inch arms. That's true. What's the ideal height, weight, arm length, hand span for the perfect quarterback, Kyle Shanahan quarterback? 6'2" to 6'5", 32 to 33-inch arms, 10-inch hands, something like that.
Trey Lance.
Roughly.
Trey Lance.
Yeah. Justin Herbert. Steve Lewis says, is there an us versus them in the locker room between Cabo and non-Cabo crew? Maybe Aiyuk feels siloed if he and his wife don't fit in with the crew and couples.
Hmm.
I think that there's a lot of truth to that. And I think what's weird about the Niners clickiness is it's very high school. It's like couples. It's the player and his wife, and they're friends with the other player and his wife. It's like, and they have these social gatherings, but some of them don't get invited. And I wonder how they feel, because Brandon's always been an outsider. Maybe that's his own fault, but I think the whole point of a team is you're trying to get everyone to come together, and not everyone's going to be the same, and not everyone's going to have the same freaking sense of humor. You got to find a middle ground.
Grant, this is the only reason Kyle Juszczyk is a 49er, is because Christian Juszczyk and George Kittle's wife are very close. They got a podcast together now or something. Like, they're so close. That's the only reason.
Kyle's going to get re-signed, Grant. I hope you know that. And your video is going to go viral of you. Like, what does he do? It's going to pop up on Twitter again and about when they re-sign him. And like, someone's going to be like, at Grant Cohn, he got re-signed again. Like,
imagine how good Kyle Shanahan could be, how good this offense could be if they actually played with 11 players. It would be incredible.
Yeah.
They just have this guy like doing cartwheels on the field. Like, oh, he's just like trying to distract you.
He makes some good catches. I'll give him credit. He is decent at catching the football.
He is
decent at catching the football.
Yeah, it's my issue with him has never been like his skill set. It's just the fact that the Niners don't use him, and the way they use him is
Saunders and Farrell and Kittle, all three tight ends tomorrow.
Please. TVY T143 something says, does Kyle Shanahan trust Kyle Juszczyk to call plays on offense?
Why? Because he went to Harvard?
Why? I don't know.
Jesus Christ, dude. I mean, why would a fullback be calling fucking plays on offense?
Well, what can't he do? I mean, he does the quarterback sneak when they need it sometimes. He's the emergency kicker.
No, but Grant, he sucks at quarterback sneaking. I'll always remember the game against Buffalo last year was the first time Juszczyk ever did like a quarterback sneak on like the 1 yard line, and then he fumbled the ball. That was the worst thing I've ever seen in my life.
Can I bring one thing up?
How much different would Juszczyk's career be if he were just labeled a tight end, which is what he is? He'd never be a Pro Bowler.
No,
he'd never go to a Pro Bowl. He wouldn't be in consideration. He's not a fullback. Fullbacks run the ball. He's a lead block. He's a move tight end.
Yeah. I want to bring one thing up.
Who was really good 6 years ago.
I want to bring one thing up, which I think Grant was going to probably bring up anyways, but like B-Rob.
Probably.
Can we please stop fucking running Christian McCaffrey 27 times a game when it's clear he doesn't have the same burst he used to? In a game like tomorrow where it's ugly, I want to see 10 to 15 carries from Brian Robinson Jr. 10 to 15 minimum tomorrow. Like, run through the tackle.
Some crude stats real quick. So far on the season, McCaffrey's averaging 3.7 yards per carry, and Brian Robinson's averaging 4.7 yards per carry. Christian's getting 18 carries a game, and Robinson's getting 5. I'm just saying that's 100% only because of the contract. Usually when, you're this deep in a season and there's that big of a disparity between two running backs on the same team in the same system, the guy averaging a full yard per carry more earns more carries. That's how it works.
They did that to Mason a few years ago. Remember? Mason was balling. They're like, screw you, buddy. We're not going to play you. They need Mason this year.
Yeah. There's so many examples. And this is why I don't think Kyle Shanahan should be the coach of the year. He's doing a good job, but like, are you playing the best quarterback right now? Are you playing your best wide receiver right now? Are you playing your best running back right now? Or are you just playing the guys you paid because you paid them and you decided in August that they were going to be the staples of your offense? You got to adjust and react to what's happening in front of your eyes.
I like Kyle, but like his pride does get in the way a lot of things. He could
right?
be one of the best coaches of all time if he just like put away his ego for a second and was
agree.
I
completely agree.
Because his offensive mind, no one's questioning him being a guru offensively. He obviously is, but pride has lost him 3 Super Bowls, including the one for the Falcons, right? Like when he was the OC. Yeah. Pride has lost him. He has made him so Brock Purdy prone the last few weeks where, by the way, I think they could win this game tomorrow pretty easily if Mac played. Like, because Brock Purdy's playing, I think there's less of a chance they win because of the turnovers.
I think there's more.
Didn't it feel like Kyle liked the Mac Jones experience because he got credit for resuscitating his career? But then once the conversation went to actually Mac's better than Brock and you messed up with this Brock contract, Kyle's responsible for the Brock contract. It kind of felt like he was like, oh, okay, well, let me reset that narrative. And I'm going to do it by bringing back Brock against the Cardinals so that he wins and plays well. Not against the Rams, because what I'm really concerned about right now is making sure everyone knows that we were right to pay Brock Purdy. And I think that's pride. That is pride getting to you. That's not necessarily the best decision for the team.
If he wanted that, he should have played him against the Cardinals, which he did. Sat him,
Yep.
phony injury last week. Sat him again against another good defense, and then played him against the Titans so he could throw 3 or 4 touchdowns after the bye week and claim that he was injured going into the bye week. Because you know what's going to happen tomorrow. The line's going to play like shit. They'll get to the quarterback within 2 seconds. He'll get hit a lot. So Mac Jones can at least get the ball out in 2 seconds instead of Brock looking at 4 reads and then using his legs, fumbling the football or throwing it into traffic. Mac Jones is the perfect quarterback to beat the Browns. Slants, throw it to, get the ball out quick, check downs. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, sure, the big play might not be available as much with Mac at quarterback, but you don't need that against a good Cleveland defense. You're not going to be getting the big play regardless.
We're winning tomorrow. Seem like you're getting the big play from Brock anymore, man. Every time he tries, it's intercepted.
No,
watch, you're going to see a big play. Calling it right now. Big play.
Is that your prize pick of the week?
Prize pick of the week, yes. Over
Niners
or
have a
more.
gift to choke games when they have some leeway. The Lions lost, so now they're going to be like, "Oh, we don't need to win this game as much," and they'll lose. That's what's going to happen. It happens all the time.
They're going to win. They're going to win.
They're going to lose.
If they lose to Cleveland, God, what a scandal going into the bye week. If you just made Shedeur, like you just basically are going to launch Shedeur's career with that one. Brock, you better not lose to Shedeur Sanders, man.
If Shedeur wins this game, though, this is huge for him. This is huge because beating the Raiders is like it's the Raiders, but beating the Niners,
it's a big deal, man. It's a big deal. Justin says Kyle won't pull out the 3 tight end offense because it's a McVay staple this year. We know it's personal between them two. Kyle's ego is in the way. Ego, pride. Yeah. Javid says Tom Rathman was a proper fullback, run, catch, and block. Thank you. I appreciate
Kyle,
that.
you checks the goat.
Before we get out of here, you already know it. There we go.
Grant, I love on like the side screen of the portrait. It's just our mouths. It's just our mouth. On the
Instagram. On the Instagram one. I know. I gotta probably figure that out. I think there's probably 4 people watching on it. Does anyone watch Instagram Live? Is that a thing that people do?
Grant, I've been like on my phone and I'll see a notification. Grant going live and I watch it on there. So I watch it.
You need a stream key.
I do. Right? I have that. I got the stream key. I'm so high tech, man. I'm way ahead of you on this.
Great. I don't even have a stream key. I need to get one.
So this is something that I'm not really sure what it is. On Prize, a new Prize Pick format, and
that's a name. Pick Jacob
Jesus.
That's a great name.
Holy How do we feel about Jacob Jesus? Have to right for Jacob.
Just on the name, like if he doesn't go over,
more
like he
for Jacob Jesus. I like that.
What a name.
So I guess if we get that right, then they give us another one tomorrow. So do you think it's Jacob Jesus or do you think it's straight up Jacob Jesus?
Jacob Jesus. Hey, probably is Jesus.
I'm going to call him Jesus. I don't care.
All right. Well, look, check back tomorrow after the game. I'll show you all my prize picks for the week and which ones I got right. I know you're really interested in that. In the meantime, download Prize Picks yourself, play $5, get 50 instantly in lineups when you use promo code COHN. And get those picks in before tomorrow's game. If you're living in 45 states, including Texas and California. All right, guys. So I'm in Cleveland, and it's 5:30 at night, and it's time for me to get crazy, guys. Debauchery. But not too crazy, because we saw what happened to Mark Sanchez.
Grant, are you going to have a burrito in Cleveland?
I don't think so, man. I think I'm going to end my Mexican food quick, because I've had Mexican food in the Midwest, and it's not good. I'm sorry. It's just not.
That's one thing I'm very disappointed in myself for when I went to San Francisco. I didn't get a burrito. Yeah, I know.
Oh, next time.
You gotta come down to LA again, bro. We'll take you.
Where's your go-to spot in West LA?
West LA for Mexican food or for what? Just in
Mexican food, or is there a go-to? But you have to go to East LA.
That much I like Paquito Mas. Who doesn't? Like Paquito Mas is great. It's a valley
steak is the best food. I don't care what you say. Steak.
No, bro.
Up here, steak.
Come on.
Steak? You guys are like
going to Argentina.
Thank you for that contribution.
Grant likes the burritos, the tacos.
I might get myself a steak tonight. Saturday night in Cleveland.
Well,
treat myself.
Good steak in Cleveland.
They got great steak in the Midwest because it's corn fed.
Yeah. Apparently the best steak is in Argentina, so I'm excited for that.
That is true. I've never been, but I've heard. I like a good Argentinian steakhouse. I like a good chimichurri.
Yeah, Argentina is a great.
Have you been?
I'm going to see my girl's family. It's where they're from.
Oh, snap.
So, yeah.
That's what's up.
Yeah, we'll see. It'll be fun. It'll be during the Niners season, the pivotal point.
That'll be right.
That's gonna be
Okay,
sick.
well, you better find a way to stream. I don't give a damn if you're in Argentina.
Oh, dude, the work doesn't stop.
They have
Come on.
great Wi-Fi.
Love it.
You got it.
100%.
All
100%.
right, guys. It's time for me to go find something bad to get into in Cleveland. But if I'm accused of anything, I didn't do it. So thank you very much. Maj, Brandon, great stuff. I'll see you guys
Appreciate you having
tomorrow.
me on.